I'm really excited to have her on our lineup tonight because she's the wonderful, lovable Lauren Berkovich.
A couple of summers ago, I had an adult bat mitzvah. So for those that don't know, a bat mitzvah is like a bar mitzvah, but for girls. And traditionally, the bar and bat mitzvah is the Jewish tradition of becoming a man or a woman. And it's usually done by 12 and 13-year-old boys and girls. And you learn to speak Hebrew, and you sing in front of your congregation. And it's really awkward for most 12-year-old boys because their voices are cracking. And it's really a rite of passage into adulthood. No, I didn't have it when I was 12 or 13 because I have the learning disability dyslexia. So you read backwards, and in Hebrew you also read backwards. So I was amazing at Hebrew, but I was almost going to fail grade 3, so my parents were like, this is not worth it. So they yanked me out of that, and they always told me you can have it when you're older. So I always knew I wanted to have it when I was older, and I was like, I want to become a woman, and I think my boyfriend would be really into this. And so the time came, like I graduated university, and I moved to Vancouver, and I was like, all right, I'm ready, womanhood. So I found a synagogue here in Vancouver on the liberal side, which was important because I was doing something very untraditional. And I went to go check them out. And I met old rabbi and young rabbi. And old rabbi was perfect. He was like a mixture of my dad and Larry David and always made political jokes at the service. And young rabbi was also great. He was very enthusiastic and liked talking about like iPhone apps that relate to Judaism. Like, you get the whole Torah on your iPhone. I don't know if you knew that. But so I told them I wanted to have an adult bat mitzvah. They were super into it. They were like, that's amazing. So I started the journey, as I like to call it. And I started with Hebrew lessons. I learned Hebrew for about 8 months. And I also met with the rabbi a couple times a month just to talk about the Torah, which, for those that don't know, it's the Old Testament. So it's stories like Cain and Abel and Moses and stuff like that. So I would go in and meet with the rabbi, and he would say, like, what did you think of Moses? And I would say some shit, like, I don't know. And he would just go, brilliant. You are brilliant. And part of me was like, man, I am nailing this shit. Like, maybe Judaism is my thing. Like, maybe they were right when I was young and told me I was amazing at it. And then the other part of me was like, well, are you comparing me to 13-year-olds? Like, I hope I'm brilliant. But after, like, a couple weeks and months of this, I was like, I see what's going on. He doesn't think I'm brilliant. He's into me. Young rabbi is feeling me, and I'm the kind of person that, like, the second someone's kind to me, I do this little dance, like, still got it. Oh, yeah. Like, I think it's a syndrome a lot of people have when they've been in relationships for many, many years, like I have, where you're like, I really appreciate that my significant other likes me, but I really just want, like, one other person in the universe to want to have sex with me. Like, I want that. So, you know, people are asking me, like, how are things going with the bat mitzvah? I'm like, really good, but I think my rabbi's in love with me. He's always talking to me about, like, singles nights, and he knows my partner isn't Jewish because his name is Christopher. And what am I going to do about that? I'm like, nothing. So, you know, we're going, and I'm like, this is great. Everything's great. And then one day I go to my Jewish book club, which no one join a Jewish book club. Worst books ever. And they're gossiping. I'm like, oh yeah. And they're like, did you hear about the controversy between old rabbi and young rabbi? I'm like, no, but my mind starts racing, like, maybe young rabbi is hitting on other bat mitzvah students, which would be really fucked up because they're like 13. Or maybe he's into the old rabbi's wife, because she's like really hot. And then they're chatting, I can't wait to hear it, and they're like, well, young rabbi's gay. And I'm like, oh my God, on one hand, this is awesome, I'm a gay rabbi. I grew up in San Francisco and I didn't even have a gay rabbi. And on the other hand, I'm like, Lauren, you are a fucking idiot. No one wants to bone you. You do not still got it. And on August 22nd, 2009, I officially became a woman. And I believe a much more humble, realistic woman